Good morning to everyone, or good evening, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of the England and Roger Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. Another wonderful, bright, sunny Saturday, Roger, at the start of autumn.
Yes, finally we're into fall. And,
Yeah,
you can look forward to the changing of the leaves, which has already started on the
started,
DVP,
yeah.
but it's always beautiful to see. But it also means that you got to dress differently. And
Well,
you got
so
to
far,
start.
so good.
Yeah, you
It's,
know what? It's been a extended summer.
yeah, the temperatures are above normal, and yesterday was fantastic. Today is bright and sunny at the start, so
It is, it is. And
looking
yesterday it's going
forward.
to be like this all weekend,
Yeah, so
which
looking
is
forward
awesome.
to some good days in the summer. So in the
The
fall,
fall, yeah,
but
yeah, it's summer
summer,
weather in the fall.
yeah, always welcome. I wish it
Yes.
can go down to October. It'd be great.
You know what? Some people would say it's because of global warming, so don't be too happy about it, but let's enjoy it while we can.
Yeah, there's so many mixed feelings on global warming. I've seen the discussions on it. Canada's going one way, Europe is
Yeah,
going a different way,
another way.
England is going yeah, but
It's all over
yeah,
the place,
it
all
is.
over the place. Not sure if they're all going ended up in the same place, but they're certainly going in different directions.
They are for sure in different directions. As usual, a lot of sports, a lot happening. Formula One surprise last week, but
A shocker.
a
A sh-
shocker.
I mean, I'm still wondering what happened there, because it was so unusual for Red Bull not to show up at all. I
Yeah,
mean,
not even
they
a podium, eh? So
Yeah, they just didn't show up. So, congratulations to Ferrari's Carlos Sainz.
yeah,
As he won that race, it was like, wow, finally, that 10 race winning streak is finally broken.
it is. Yeah, it's finally broken. But surprise. I mean, well, Russell. I guess he had a mix up on his last
I
on his
noticed.
last, and he
I
didn't get the
noticed.
podium, so that helped Lewis Hamilton to get third spot.
I know. I know. He had a chance to beat Lewis. He had a chance to almost win the race, and
Yeah, yeah.
he clipped, and that was his race.
Yeah, so it
I don't
was.
know. As a pro, you can't get to that point and make a mistake. So,
No, you shouldn't be making those mistakes as a pro at
uh,
that stage. So you can't blame
so
anybody else except
exactly himself, right? So bad on him.
yeah, it
Bad
is
on him.
very
So
much so. But back to this week and back in Japan this week and back to
the
normal stuff.
Japanese Grand Prix, and yeah, you're absolutely right. I think Verstappen is out to prove a point. That
Yeah,
last week was just a fluke.
he won. He's on pole for this for
Yes,
tomorrow's race.
he is. He
Not a
is.
big surprise there. And Hamilton himself said that he thinks that he's gonna just come back and dominate. Right? He thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually said he thinks something is up if they don't. so,
Yes, exactly.
so, which is
Yeah.
weird of him to say. It's like back to their scheduled programming this week. So let's see how it goes. But not very confident there. But at the end of the day, the Red Bulls have the best uh, machines out there by far.
Yeah, and speaking of Hamilton and machines, Hamilton is he's going to see set to meet with the designers of the Mercedes to talk about the car and what he is looking forward for next year.
Yeah, he has to have a major input in this, man, because this year just didn't work for him at all.
No,
At
yeah,
all.
so that will be interesting to see what happens there next year because the race for this year is all but over. It's just Verstappen
Uh,
dominating everything
Everything.
practice.
I'm not even sure why they bother with some of these races, but I mean, at the end of the day,
Yes,
it happened last week. It may happen again. You never know. But at this
you
point,
never
I
know.
think it will be wrapped up really soon.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just gonna be all Verstappen, and I don't unless something unexpected happens, then I can't see.
It would be a lot of unexpected things to happen. You need a few weeks of unexpected for this to stop that train that is just rolling to victory right now.
Yeah, it is. The only good thing I guess for this week in Japan is not they don't have Red Bull 1-2 on the on the starting grid
Yeah, I know,
because
I know.
Perez is down in number 5.
Yeah, yeah, which is at least a good little sign that
Yeah,
there's a chance for others.
Signs is he's come from winner last week. He's on the sixth position.
Yeah,
His partner Leclerc is up in fourth, and
fourth.
yeah, some Pistari second, London now, some different names you're seeing at the top there.
I noticed that it's not some of the names I didn't expect to see there. So,
Yeah, so
but we'll see how the race goes. Sometimes being in the top six means very little on the day, but
yeah, it means little for real.
yeah,
So we'll see how that race goes tomorrow.
yeah.
And just before we got on air, I was following some golf, some Solheim Cup,
Oh yes,
US
yes.
and
Versus Europe.
Europe, and US came out to a big start yesterday morning, 4-0. Then the afternoon, sorry, United States had a 4-0. Then Europe came back and they had a 3-1 in the second.
Yeah.
And so far this morning, they tied. They had a 2-all tie.
Mm.
And the afternoon sessions, the US teams are not looking that great. Europe is up in two, and two matches are tied. So I'm not
Wow.
sure what's going on. And the
It is.
biggest surprise to me is Nelly caught on Ali Ewing. They're down 4-0.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh. No, it would be well. I don't know if I should call it a shame, but I mean, you're up for nothing, and then for you to come back and beat you, it would be a real shocker and a real downer for the U.S. So
it will be.
they started off really well. Let's see. It's not for the quick; it's for those who can last. So let's see if US will find a way to get back on top. But at this point in time, looks the Europe seems to be on a little roll, and they're getting some momentum here.
Yeah, they do. They seem to be on that roll, and the momentum is all with Europe, and
Yep,
they're at home. They're in Spain, right?
in Spain, yeah,
Yeah.
in Spain. So I
So
mean, it's their place.
it is,
So
yes. So we'll see, but it will be unfortunate if we get out to such a great start and then
and lose.
yeah, I
you know,
don't think they've ever lost after winning for all four games in
for
the
the games,
morning.
and yeah,
So
it would be very unusual for that to happen. But never say never in sports these days. And right now, it's looking like Europe may find a way to win.
yeah, Nelly Carter, who I think is the best player in the world, but she seems to be off of form. Maybe I don't know if she's carrying an injury, but she's not playing like Nelly at all. Even the
Yeah,
guys, they always say they watch Nelly her smooth, beautiful swing, but
yeah, yeah.
um, something seems to be off with her. And the US, the kudos to the European team. They're playing very well. So,
Well, they are. They are. They definitely are playing well.
and just as we're speaking, the Europe has gone up in another game. So three, they're up in three,
Oh,
tied.
the tide is turning
Yeah, it is turning for sure. So Saturday is a bad day for the US, and then let's see what happens tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Maybe
Yeah,
just maybe we'll in for a wonderful finish on
maybe
Sunday.
that's all it's setting up for, to have
Yeah,
a fantastic finish, which is always good for the game.
it is very good for the game for sure.
Hmm. Wow.
Tennis. I don't know if you've been watching anything happening much in tennis. We
Yeah, I've
didn't
watched a
get a
bit.
chance to talk about Coco win. I can't remember because we were off last week.
Yeah, I think we mentioned that it was coming up, but I don't recall talking about the actual. Yeah, I think we did. We did talk
Yeah, we
about
did.
it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. But I was watching Fernandez over there in Mexico, and she was looking okay until she got to the quarterfinals and then got knocked out. So,
Mm-hmm.
but she was looking. She's a decent player.
Yes, she is. I think there's so much expected of her after that U.S. Open finals
Finals, yeah.
that the pressure on her every time she steps on the court, the pressure from her, on her to do well. So
You know what
it's
though? I look around and I see the actual winner of that tournament doing worse than her. So she's not
right.
doing so bad when you look at her Canu and
Mhm.
Fernandez. Fernandez is at least holding her own, but Raducanu, I'm not even sure. She said she's going to try and come back for next year, but she has done absolutely
Mm,
nothing
nothing.
since winning.
Yeah, that's just so true. She is way down to I think 104 or something in the
Something like
ranking.
that. She's
She's
going downhill quickly.
quickly and yeah, a lot of pressure on her too. And
Yeah.
I think she's probably trying to bounce back, but
Yeah, she says that. Hopefully, for her sake, that she finds a way to do so. But it's disappointing to see how quickly she has fallen.
Yeah, it's very disappointing to see that for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Semifinals in that tournament, just wrapping up. Sakari just beat Gassier, and on the other hand, Dollarhide, the USA player, beat her fellow American Kenin in set
Okay.
5-6-3. So they both play in the finals tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, nice. I was also
Um,
looking at some news though for Simona Halep. You saw that about
yes, that's right.
two-time Grand Slam champion,
4-year ban.
banned for 4 years for anti-doping. Like, oh my
Yes,
God.
and some of the things Serena said, made a comment and tweeted something, and she's getting a bit of a backlash for it
Ah.
because she tweeted when she got four, she said eight is better. She tweeted eight is better, but
Oh
that
boy.
was in reference to I think one of her eight championships that Nona Havila beat her, and she
Yeah.
thought, well, wow, they used to accuse Serena of taking substances as well, but
Well, yeah, they always did. They
yeah,
always did. Wow. Never
but
tested positive, but now Halep has twice.
yeah,
So she's denying it, but well, she got the
they,
ban.
they always deny it, but you're responsible, right?
You are responsible, and it's something called what is it? Roxa Dustat. So they know what
Yes,
it is. It's not like they made it up. So
correct.
she must know where it came from.
She must know, and yeah, I think it's just the trainers and different people. There's all sorts of stories about um, who could have put it there, and
Yeah,
ex-boyfriend and all this stuff, but
there's
I don't know.
always stories, always,
Yeah,
always.
as
It's
long as you
never.
know.
I
Go
think
ahead.
Ben Johnson's the only one that said I did it. Everybody else just says nope,
Yes,
wasn't me,
everybody else said no. I mean, the
wasn't me.
others in that race with Ben Johnson who were suspected, but they weren't
Yeah,
caught. So said,
yeah,
hey,
it's
you know
not
that.
me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's another thing that's happening. So, in interest of time and getting through, because we have a very important show right after us, we get into some cricket, and you've been watching the CPL,
Yeah, yeah. I've been
and
taking a look from time to
this
time.
disappointment for me last night that Jamaica never showed up, and it was most important.
I know, but you know what? I think they have been consistently inconsistent. so,
You're right, because
so they were fantastic the game before. So it was like,
mhm.
okay, can they do it again the next time? And they didn't.
And and I must say, the captain, he's been playing with an injury, and
Yeah,
he's struggled, tried his best, but it wasn't to be. So,
yeah.
kudos to Brandon King for trying playing
Yeah,
with
give
that
it a
injury.
touch. Yeah,
Because there's some, if you looked at the game, you'll see there are times when the ball go to him and he's fielding.
yeah.
He doesn't try to attack it. He just stops it, and even running in the between the wicket when he's batting,
Was struggling. I'm
struggling.
not sure if he made the right decision to play, but I mean, I guess you want to lead from the front, but you're not 100%. I mean, probably 75% is better than having somebody else out there. I'm not sure, but I don't know. If you're struggling at that and it's obvious to everyone, then it may be actually demotivating the rest of the team. Maybe
It
it could
might,
be motivating, but it could be demotivating as well.
it could be. And the other shocking thing for me for Jamaica in the game, the games leading up to last night and last night's game, is for Stephen Taylor to be batting at number three.
Three, yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Mark Brooks was doing a decent job there in that switch. I didn't even think Stephen Taylor's good enough to make the final 11, but
11, exactly.
you
So
know,
I mean, I look back and I'm like, okay, we have Shanda Paul and Curtly Ambrose, and they won last year. And people say
hmm
they may not be the most technical, but they find a way to win. So I figured they had some plan why they did that. They must have had a plan
they must have had a plan. I think the plan was probably to get a left-hander in there early
early.
because Taylor's a left-hand, but didn't work. And maybe
Yeah,
Raymond Reefers, not although he's not the greatest, he's a
he's
steady,
scoring.
yeah, he's a
He's,
steady. He finds a way he's to play within his limitations to score runs. So
Yeah, he gets in the 20s most of the time. So yeah, give him. I would give him a shot there.
yeah, and for on the other hand, for Guyana, they lost to Trinidad in the playoff, the first
Yeah,
match
yeah,
eliminator, and it was not a happy thing for the Guyanese because they were cursing their team. They walked out the stadium early,
yeah. I know,
but
I
then
know.
a few of them diehards said, "You know what? It's okay. We'll lose. We got a second chance, and Friday we'll win that and get back in." And that's what they did.
That's exactly what they did. And but I think earlier on, I think when the competition had just started, he had told me that Trinidad has the strength, all around strength, to win this thing, and they're looking like champions. Not saying they're gonna win, but they're looking like champions from a little while out now. So um, Guyana has a chance because redemption is always sweet. So they have a chance to redeem themselves after being crushed the last time. So they may show up and give them a hard time. But coming in, Trinidad is looking really, really strong right now.
For Guyana's sake, I hope Guyana will win because they've been bridesmaids for so.
So long,
They
long.
just I think they've been to three championships and haven't won. And
Yeah, yeah.
you
They're
know,
getting there. They're getting there. They just can't get over the mountaintop.
yeah, there's some fans who's harsh on Trinidad. I mean, it's good players still, but they call Trinidad the retired citizens team.
Wow.
Because yeah, you've got guys like Pollard, I guess Russell,
Right.
Ryan,
Yeah,
Bravo.
yeah, they do have some oldsters there, but you know
Yeah,
what? These oldsters know how to win.
they know how to win. I mean, like Imran Tahir, he's with Guyana. He's in his 40s as well. He's leading,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a good matchup, as they say. What is it? Curry chicken versus chicken curry. Yeah,
Yes, you're absolutely right.
and I saw a sign the other night in one of the matches, and it says we're changing it from that to oil versus no oil, because Guyana has discovered oil. All right.
I know they have lots of oil now all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
so
So
Trinidad don't have as much oil anymore. So
I know.
yeah,
Yeah, it's the curry or the oil, like one of the two. But it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure.
it is. And when Shimon had mine need to come good, he hasn't been coming good for the whole.
No,
He's not. An interesting stat I heard the other night, which was only once for the season he's batted more than 20 balls, and that's
that's
concerning for Guyana.
yeah, that's very disappointing. You know, he's a loads of talent. I just don't think he has the right mindset to be as good as he can be. I don't like using these words, but he seems to be too relaxed, more like a little joker than a serious guy
Exactly.
when it comes to his game. And at this level, you got to be professional. You got to go out there all the time to be your best you can be, and not take anything for granted. And I don't think he does that well at all.
No, I don't think he does, and they're too reliant on Shea Hope. Shea
Yeah,
Hope has been carrying them. He played well again last night, and Azam Khan. Azam Khan is
yes,
a big guy, but he plays well.
he does.
So
He does. He
yeah,
does.
he actually got them to the 182 last night. So looking forward to that final tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Oh, it's
For
gonna
sure.
be very interesting. And there are a lot of people that flew in for that game because I even saw Canadians. They interviewed one guy yesterday, and he flew in all the way from. He was Jamaican,
Oh, okay.
and he flew in all the way from Toronto. He said he was hoping for a Jamaica win, but maybe he'll change his shirt tonight and put on a different
Put on a different
one.
color.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
go with the guy in his shirt or something.
Why not?
Wow.
Support the underdog.
Always. That's always the best ones to support.
Yeah, for sure. Other cricketing news happening, Roger. There's a couple of ODIs. Everybody's getting ready for the World Cup in October, November. So a lot of series are happening right now. So New Zealand and Bangladesh playing.
Hmm.
They're locked in that series, and surprisingly, Bangladesh won the first game,
Yeah, I was quite shocked at that.
and New Zealand bouncing. Was it the New Zealand is bouncing back now? They scored 254, and
Mm,
Bangladesh 112 for five, so struggling a bit
yeah, yeah.
in this. Other games, England and Ireland. That one should be not much of a contest, but Ireland did well to keep England to 354 after the first match was abandoned.
Hmm.
England looked like getting a lot more, but
And
they
that's
had
enough, though. That should
it
be
should
enough.
be enough. It should be enough. They had a bit of collapse, but it's a it's a totally different look England team.
England
So
team, yeah, yeah.
I just think that preparing for the World Cup after they've named the team, but they've left out most of the guys.
They
So
don't take Ireland seriously enough, in my opinion.
that's what it is because you've got guys like Phil Salt, Will Jacks. He scored 94. He scored 89. Those are names that you don't normally hear.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe
So
they're trying to see who's going to show up so they can, look for the future.
yeah, that's probably what they're doing. So just looking at the future, and as you said, using Ireland to do that because they don't
Yeah,
take them seriously.
seriously enough. They think they're going to
No,
crush them every time they see them.
yeah. So I think that's one of the things. India and Australia in a battle. Australia went over to India because I guess they want to get accustomed to the conditions for the World Cup.
Those
Yeah,
those pitches.
pitches. Yeah, so in Australia 276, Dave Warner 52, Smith 41, Labuschagne 39, and Inglis 45. Other than that, not a lot more.
Mm,
In the wickets column, just 5 wickets for Mohammad Shami for India.
mm,
So,
okay.
but an easy win for India, 281 for 5. Gaikwad 71, 74 to Gill. And Rohit Sharma didn't even play that game.
Oh,
And
really?
no, and Virat Kohli didn't play either.
Wow.
So,
So if they're beating them with their almost, well, it's not their full A team, then wow. India is looking really good for the championships coming up.
they are looking pretty good. And tomorrow is the next match. We'll see if there's guys coming to the end of this tournament, but
Hmm.
maybe it's a chance to give the other guys in the some games because it's going to be 3 matches, three, and then a bunch of T20Is.
T20. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 5 T20Is and 3 ODIs. So I guess they're resting and rotating play. It's good when you can do that.
Yeah, you have the depth to do it. So yeah, I would totally agree. Go for it when you have the depth to do it. You're competitive with the guys that you're considered from the bench. So give them a shot.
Yeah, for sure. And just to wrap up in some news and notes, because there's so much track and field to talk about with the Diamond League wrap up last week and end of season, I guess, for most of the athletes. So we'll get into that.
Right.
But first, just let you know the USA qualified from the Americas region for the Women's World T20 qualifiers, which go next year.
Mm.
So they have a good chance. Canada didn't beat them as they were required to. So
So they knocked out
they,
Canada.
yeah, they were undefeated in the tournament, USA.
Wow.
And while we were away, South Africa came from behind and they were 2-0 down and they beat Australia 3-1 in that ODI series.
Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, a bit of a surprise there because
A big surprise, actually.
I thought it was over
Yeah,
for, yeah, so I really thought that there was no chance.
to come back. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, but they did well to win and they had some very big crowds in that game. And finally, Roger, all the news that we've been waiting for, we had a brief discussion on it, is that
Yeah,
the 7 countries for the World Cup has been named.
I know this. I know
Host
this.
and St. Kitts didn't put in a bid, and they're getting a lot of stick for it. Jamaica didn't put in a bid.
And they're getting a lot of stick for it too.
Yeah, and wonder why those countries decided not to put in a bid. And
I think Jamaica was saying it wouldn't be profitable for them to do it.
mhm.
Not sure how they came up with the numbers for that, but that's how their position. That I'm not sure if they have to spend too much on facilities to accommodate it. I don't know what it is, but I was quite surprised because as a tourism destination, you'd assume a big tournament like this, you'd jump at it. But for some reason, the government said no. And I must say, give Babsy Green credit. She goes for stuff that is good for Jamaica. So if she didn't go for it, then she must have had a really good reason not to.
You know, Roger, that's one of my beefs with ICC and the other countries is the governing bodies is every time it comes to a World Cup in the Caribbean, you're playing test matches, ODIs
Hmm.
in and out every year. you're hosting. But every time it comes to World Cup, they want upgrade to the stadiums. I don't
Yeah,
think it's necessary, and I think it's unless you're
sure.
putting in the money, don't put the government through this waste of
I
money.
know,
And I
I
think those
know.
are some of the reasons that some of the countries just said, you know what, no,
Forget
because
this. Yeah,
yeah, I saw a correspondence this morning which says that they all of the grounds have to be upgraded. I am totally against that.
it's gotta. That's. I think that's sort of the point where Jamaica was saying that I'd have to spend all this money. I don't know how I'm going to recoup it because what are we going to do after we do this?
And they've had their example in
The
the World
Trinidad,
Cup.
yeah, the Trelawney Stadium is there
The
and became a
Trelawney
white
Stadium
elephant.
is there exactly. Yeah, so but
Yeah,
some of the countries see that it's fit to do it and they've gone ahead, and so the countries hosting are going to be Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, Guyana, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Trinidad and Tobago. So those are Caribbean islands, along with USA. I think Broward County, which is
yeah,
New York,
Florida.
actually, New York, and
Yeah, you
Houston.
have Dallas, Florida, and New York. So yeah,
Yeah, Dallas. Yeah. So I'm looking at this correspondence, which says a host country announcement, 22nd September. Commencement of venue infrastructure upgraded, 25th September.
oh my word,
Establish a local organization, all local organization
Lucy.
committee
Yeah,
on
yeah.
1st of October. Confirmation of match schedule, 22nd November. Online ticket state of sales start 1st December. Venue inspections, 1st December. So, I mean, why do you have to go and upgrade all this stuff? And
I know.
when we play in the other countries, that don't happen.
I know, I know. I mean, when I look at these seven countries in the Caribbean as well, like Dominica is not a
It's not a
region that has a
powerhouse.
big powerhouse, or St. Vincent and the Grenadines either. So it's going to be interesting to see. Well, I guess they'll probably show up for these games, maybe,
Hmm.
but for sure, Barbados, Antigua, and Trinidad and Guyana are going to get the regular crowds, but the others, Dominica, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we'll see.
A
We'll
lot is
see.
going to depend on who's playing where, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
if it's, you get the English crowd will follow them,
yeah.
the Indian crowd will follow.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be really, I mean, it's a bigger World Cup this time. It's 20 teams.
It is a bigger World Cup for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Mm.
It should be interesting as well. So it's enough time for the teams to get together and the stadiums to come together and do something that is professional enough for the ICC. But
Hmm.
yeah, the process that they go about to get it ready is just a little unfair.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, those are the only 7 countries that put in a bid, and
Yeah, yeah,
they all got the okay. So
they're gonna go for it.
they're gonna
So
go for it. Yeah,
I mean, it's good that it's finalized. That these are the countries that are the places that are doing it. So, which I'm fine with. I mean, yeah, I'm disappointed that
yeah, I'm
Jamaica
fine
didn't
with
put
that.
in a
Yeah,
bid or send kids. But at
Same.
the end of the day, you know, the government knows best for their own country, right?
Yeah, they've learned, I'm sure, from the last time, 2007, when he hosted the World Cup, and
Yeah,
from other thing and how much money is have to be spent.
correct,
So
correct.
that's it from me from Cricket Raja. Unless you have anything else to add.
I
Um,
don't know. From a cricket perspective, I think that was it. Lots going on over there, and I'm actually looking forward to that game tomorrow night for
yes, I'm
Trinidad
looking
and
forward.
Guyana.
Yes, I'm gonna watch the game. I usually just watch. I don't watch all of the games in full, but I think I'll watch the finals tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, it should be a great finals. But I mean, you're leaning towards Trinidad as well.
No, I'm going with Guyana.
I'm in Guyana.
I mean Trinidad, and I think Trinidad has a better team, but I'm
Yeah,
just hoping that Guyana can get their first win. Trinidad has won twice already, so
I know, I
I'd
know.
love to see Guyana get a win.
Yeah, I think from what I see, Trinidad has a team to win, but let's
They
see.
do, they
And
do.
they do have the professionals that
Yeah.
knows how to get it across the line as well. So I think they're going to find a way to win.
I'll
Let's
probably,
see.
if I have to bet, I'll bet on Trinidad. But but if you
The,
ask me who I want to win,
the
I'll
heart,
go Guyana.
yeah, the heart says Guyana, but
Guyana, yeah.
the head is
But
saying
head is
Trinidad.
Trinidad. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, so over to some track and field now. Last weekend was the end of, well, technically the end of the track and field season for 2023, and it was the Diamond League Finals, and of course, the winner there gets $30,000 for winning that event. So it's a lot of money on show there in Oregon, USA. And we actually saw a couple world records. So when you get a world record, you get $100,000 bonus, and we had two world records. So lots of money were given away over there in the USA last weekend. And the first world record was from Armanda Duplantis. He
Oh yeah.
elevated to a new world record in the men's pole vault. And I don't know, man. This little kid is just. Did you get to see it?
Yeah, I was watching it, and he's just, yeah, he's just, he's
Yeah.
just on another level. It's just
Yes.
how high he can go.
Go
That's his, yeah,
exactly. And being smart, he only goes up 1 centimeter over what it was before. So
yeah.
he took it from 622 to 623. So next year, I'm pretty sure he's going to go to 624.
Get another
But
hundred
yeah,
thousand.
another $100,000. Well, if you can do it, why not?
Yeah,
So yeah, he did do that, and kudos to him. He's been dominating the sport for a bit now, and no end in sight. I think he's going to continue to win for the foreseeable future, from what I can see. He's way ahead of everybody else. And he's jumping 620s. Everybody else barely getting to six. So
just kidding. Yeah.
he's way above that. The other world record, though, came from Teziga in the 5,000 meter. And she just, I tell you, man, I watched Faith Kipyegon break the world record earlier in the summer, and I was like,
Mhm.
wow, that was awesome. But Teziga out of Ethiopia there, she destroyed the 5,000 meter world record,
Mhm.
running 14.00.21 to win that race. And it was, for me, I mean, I think Faith is going to beat her when they go against each other. But I must say that Tezigai was very impressive in this race. Very
Yeah,
impressive.
she was very impressive. I was actually thinking, is she gonna be the first woman to go under 14?
14. Yeah, that's what I was watching for. And she
Yeah,
went really, really close, right?
yeah,
She's just 21 ticks off. But
yeah.
you know what? I think when they meet, whenever they meet next year, I think it's going to go under 14.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are in great, 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 great shape.
Good
So
shape. Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. But just watching the meet, there was so many fascinating results. I think it's one of the few times I think the season ended with everybody going out their fastest, which is a little unusual. Usually they're tired and have no energy, but a lot of people were showing up here, and we saw a lot of national records, a lot of European records, and it was just wow, 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 wow. Well, let's start a little bit of sprints first. On the women's side, Sharika Jackson, she
Yeah.
took the double. Right? She won 100 meters, looking really, really good over Talu, and Elaine Thompson was third. She was complaining
Limbs.
about the
Yeah.
starter, but at the end of the day, I think her start was normal. But
Yeah.
Sharika Jackson, Shakari though, a lot expected from her. She just seemed a
She
little out of
did.
it.
Yeah, she was. She didn't seem like she was. Yeah, she just showed up just to show up. It
Show
seemed
up,
like.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what I saw too. So Jackson won that in 10.70, so it's looking good. Fast time at the end of the year,
Mhm.
and she came back and dominated the 200 again, winning that in 21.57, which is, again, she has four of the top six fastest 200 meters ever. But easy victory for her, very easy victory. But at the end of the day, her coach was disappointed. So,
Really.
yeah, she was saying she's grateful for dominant season and she's happy about this and that. And then Coach Stephen Francis came out and says he's disappointed that she did not break the world record and she made a few mistakes. And he's considering having her focus on only one event next year
Mm.
because he wants the world record.
Right.
He wants the world record and he believes she can break it. And he's going to try and put her in the best position to break it. But I think she's going to double next year. Um,
She can win the double next year, so why
she can
not?
win the double. Yeah, I think the last thing he wants is for Elaine Thompson to come and beat him in that double. So he's going to get whoever he can to win that double. So
Mhm.
it's going to be interesting to see for next year for both of them. But a little surprised that he came out and said that because after such a fantastic season, you know, the Diamond League champion, Diamond League double champion actually, and world champion and second fastest time ever and all of that stuff. And you're coming out to say you're disappointed. Like, okay,
Yeah.
buddy, go a little easier than that, please. So, you know, but as mentioned, lots of records going on. I watched the 800-meter race, between I think Mo, who a lot thought was
Mhm.
just out of it, and Keely Hodgkinson from the UK, along with Natoya Gould from Jamaica, and it was top three, all
Yeah.
breaking the records, man. So I think Mo did 154.97 for the American record to win,
Mhm.
just ahead of Hodgkinson 155.19 with Natoya Gould. You know, for me it was a shock because she has been running for so long and struggling in championships, but she came and she broke the Jamaican record, running 155.96, bettering her 156.15 in 2018. So 5 years later, she found the way to break her own record, set a new national record. So kudos to her. She's in her 30s now, so I thought, maybe you wouldn't see something like this, but you just never know. You never know. We also saw Christian Coleman. I think he sort of made a point because he won that 100-meter race in
100, yeah.
9.83 over Noah Lyles, so he was looking good. I don't know what's going on with Noah Lyles. I mean, first he said he wouldn't run, then he eventually ran, and now he lost. But
Mhm.
good race by Christian Coleman. He seems to almost be back. He's getting out faster and holding on for a little longer. So look out for what he's going to do next year again. But it was a good race, good close race. Good to see Christian Coleman back running
I agree.
9.83 world
Yeah.
leading time. We also saw Hans Parchman from Jamaica. He ran a world leading 12.93 to win the 110-meter hurlers race over world champion Grant Holloway. So, all year, Parchment has been taking long to get going, and then he finally finds a way to get there, but not in the world championships. But this time, he found a way. Fastest time he has run since like 10 years or something like that.
Mhm.
So, these guys in their 30s, England, there's maybe hope for you and I to come back
Yeah,
and
to
do
come back.
something special.
He looks good actually, Parchment. He looked really smooth going over those hurdles.
Very smooth. I'm like, this guy can't be in his 30s, man. But he's looking better with every race he runs. And 12.93 is not a joke time. It's a really, really, really good time. So kudos to him for that. Big time for that. We also saw none other than Andre DeGrasse. So a lot has been said about Andre this year. I mean, he lost out at the national championships in Canada here, not making the 100-meter team. And he came back and he did not run the 4x1 heats, and Canada did not make it to the finals. So a lot of people were saying it's his fault. He ran the 200 at Worlds, didn't do anything too much. But you know what? He stuck with his program. Obviously, he was a little behind because he changed coaches in the middle of the year, and I think he was just catching up. So finally, he hit the front. And you
Hmm.
know what? He won the 200-meter Diamond League trophy coming from behind as usual. He ran 19.76. I think it's his second fastest time ever. So he was just on the ball. First Canadian to become a Diamond League champion since 2011. So he's breaking records no matter how you look at it. An amazing race from him. I mean, it's good that he quieted his detractors because a lot of people were saying a lot of things about him that he's done and he should retire. But look at him now,
Yeah,
19.76.
that was the surprise of the day for me because I had
You know,
Knighton to win that there, and
that is. You know
yeah.
what? Watching them coming in, I could almost tell you that Andre, he was getting better every race he ran, and he could see that he said it. He said he needs to be closer to them on the curve and then he'll win the race, and that's exactly what he did. He was closer to them on the curve, and then yeah, he just blew by them down the straight. He was actually an easy winner because it was 19.9 that was second.
Hmm.
Bednarik and Knighton, both of them running 19.9 for second
Yeah,
and third, but
yeah,
Andre was way ahead. So
it
kudos to
was,
him, I must say. You know, Sarah Mitten, also another Canadian, she was second for the Diamond League trophy again. She was second to Chase Ely from the USA at Worlds, and now she was second again in the Diamond League. But very consistent, Sarah Mitten. Kudos to her and her team. They have been really good for the last couple of years, and she's almost a shooing for a medal now, whether for championships are up. So kudos to this young lady from Nova Scotia, doing extremely, extremely well. Happy to see her doing so well. We also saw Marco Arop. So, of course, he is the world champion in the 800 meters. And he came out here and he said he wanted to do something special. And he went for Brandon McBride's 800-meter Canadian record, which was 143.20. He had previously run 143.24. So I know Arop was ready to break that record. He was so close. So he said he wasn't feeling great that day, but he came out and he ran 1 minute 42.85 for a very, very close second to one Nonia from Kenya. And that was a race, I'm telling you. They battled down the straight, but Arab barely lost in the last 5 meters, 142.85 to 142.80. So it was a really, really close race. So kudos to Marco Arab. He's put Canada on the map now with this 800-meter championship
Yeah.
at Worlds, and now he's backed it up with a Canadian record. So he's looking extremely, extremely good going forward for the Worlds. I mean, the Olympics next year. So let's see how he goes. Other big events there was the mile and the 3,000 meters for Jakob Ingebrigtsen. He won both
Hmm.
in dramatic finishes, so he was very, very close. Nipping Yomif Jelka in the 3,000 meters and Nipping Nguso in the mile. So he's been doing really, really well. And he said it. I mean, he's a cocky young kid, and I think he's getting married today. But Ingebrigtsen says he wants all the world records. He's not even fooling around. He says he wants them all. So he says, if some people can do something, I believe I can do it better. And I want all the world records from 1,500 meters to 5,000. So let's see what he does. He has the 2,000 and he's trying to get the others, but it's going to be difficult for him because every time I watch him, he's winning, but it's getting closer. He was dominant before and he's still winning, but he's not dominant anymore. He's just nipping his competitors. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does next year. Now he's a married man, so hopefully he can remain focused on what the job is to get the world records for next year. So looking forward to seeing just how well he does. We also saw young Jamaican, not so young anymore, Shanika Ricketts. So she has been doing triple jump for Jamaica for quite a while, and she's always second to Yulima Roas from Venezuela. But one of the things, when I met her, I think it was like 2012 or 2013, or could be 2014, I told her that her coach was convinced that she could jump 15 meters. And
Hmm.
that is from then. And English has been 1493, 1496, 1492. Finally, she did it. In her last two competitions for the year, she jumped 1501 and she came back at the championships, Diamond League championships, and she jumped 1503. So she's finally hitting that 15
Getting
now. And
consistent. Yeah.
yeah, I am so one of the nicest persons ever to meet out there. So I'm so, so happy for her. She's right now, she's on top of the world. She's on a real high. She hasn't been winning. She's coming second to Rojas still, but she's over 15. And that's when you get over 15, you're a big athlete. So
Hmm.
kudos to her for doing that. Kudos
But
to her.
Rojas is she's just in a league by herself. But
Yeah, she's next
she
level.
likes to put on a show. Like um,
Oh,
she's a
you know, you just got to be in the stadium when she's there, man. She is fantastic to watch. She brings the crowd into it and she enjoys what she's doing. So it's fun to watch her compete. And hopefully she can get pushed because right now she's just way ahead of everybody else,
hmm.
quite far ahead. All right, so some news and notes.
Just
We
one more race, Roger, that we didn't touch on. I don't think, unless I missed it. The hurdles with Benjamin.
Oh yes, right, Benjamin.
I,
So Warholm before was unbeatable.
yeah,
Every year he's unbeatable until he got injured, and then this year he lost him at Master, and then Rai Benjamin came and beat him again. So he has lost two races in a row. So Rai
guys,
Benjamin, has been talking, 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 but has never beaten Warholm before last weekend. So,
he
but
did it with a world leading, right?
he did it in a very leading time. So I'm saying that he finally not only beat him, but he beat him to show that, I am the best this year.
Hmm.
I am number one. So he's not the world record, but he's a world leading time. And to go 46 under 46.5 is always fantastic to see. And he did that. It wasn't a fluke race. It showed that he's figured out how to beat him. So I know Warholm, not a bad race, don't get me wrong. But this tells me that he's going to have to train double hard if he's going to win next year because they've caught up with him.
Right.
He's no longer the dominant guy. They're going to be right beside him, and he's going to know that whenever he shows up, he's going to have to be on his game if he's going to win. So Master is after him. Dos Santos is after him. Right, Benjamin is now after him. So fascinating 40-meter hurdles race. I think it's one of the best events in the world, both on the men and women's side. Although Femke Ball is winning very easily, and the women right now until Sydney comes back. But 40-meter hurdles for men. I think next year you may have four people going 46 low, 45 high. So
Wow.
which is just going to be an awesome, awesome, awesome race to watch.
for
You're
sure.
right about that one. Yeah, and some news and notes. The Berlin Marathon, it goes tomorrow over there in
Yeah,
Germany. And of course, it's going to be another world record attempt by Eliud Kipchoge. Uh, is he going to go another 2 minutes, two
he's
hours?
gonna
I don't know
try
what you
to go
think.
to 2 hours. If conditions are right, but yeah, all eyes and he's getting older.
He is. He is. And
So
that's my only concern now is that he seems to be a little more injury prone than before.
yes, exactly.
So I'm not sure if he'll be able to take down that 2 hour, but I mean, he's been really close. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping that he does it because I love seeing world records happen. So
Yeah, and
I'm really, really hopeful that it,
a lot of youngsters are gunning for him also.
oh, as they would say in Jamaica, them set theme.
Yeah,
So let's see if he can hold them off. Let's see if he can hold them off. It's going to be interesting to see for sure. Other news and notes. Toby Amison from Nigeria. So she won the case, the whereabouts case, and of course, Athletics Integrity Authority is not happy with that. So they're taking her case to the Court of Arbitration for Sports. So
mm,
let's see what happens. It's a little unusual. Usually, they would just say they lost the case, but no, they don't want to lose this case. So Amison, who actually won the Diamond League trophy,
she won. Yeah.
is going to be going to the Court of the CAS for her whereabouts case that she already won. So it's going to be interesting to see if CAS overturns that result and what happens to her victories that she has had since. So interesting times ahead for Tommy Amison. She has always said she thinks they're after her.
Hmm.
They don't like her. I'm not sure why, but it seems as if they don't want her to win. And she won world, set the world record. People bashed the world record, said something's wrong with the
Yeah.
track, something's wrong with this, something's wrong with that. She's never getting credit for what she has done. And now they're trying to say something. She won her case, and now they're taking her to cast. So
Hmm.
it seems like maybe she has a point that they're after her. Let's see if she can prevail one more time. In another one, I'm not sure what your thoughts are on this one, but an NCAA committee is saying that they should remove marijuana from the banned drug classes. So right now it's banned from taking marijuana during the athletic events
Hmm.
or the athletic season. A lot of people have said it does nothing. I don't know if that's true or not. They said it actually makes it worse, not better. So I don't even know. What are your thoughts?
I mean,
Should they
that's
be?
interesting because I had a discussion with the Canadian sports people about the same thing, saying it's legal in Canada, so how come it's on the list still, right? So
Exactly.
I think if most countries now are making marijuana legal and for medicinal purposes, etc. And it it I don't know. I kind of believe what they said that it makes you worse.
Me too.
So I think I don't know if it gives an advantage. I'm not quite sure. So hey, if you want to be crazy enough to smoke it before a big meet, then go ahead and do it.
I know. What I've heard though, what I've heard from smarter people than me, is that it can be used as a masking agent, so it covers up
Mm,
really taking the drug. That's what I've heard.
yeah.
And if you take it in certain amounts, then it does a good job of covering up. So it sounds like maybe that's the reason why they've kept it on it, but I
It,
don't think it is for any other reason because I don't think it is helping anybody.
no, it's not helping anybody. So maybe that the reason you just gave is the only reason they keep it on.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. All right, Dan, anything else to chat before we move on to soccer,
No,
football?
I think that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
All
it.
right. So football. So last night was a massive game in Kingston, Jamaica, where the defending Olympic champions, Canada, they're in a playoff situation against Jamaica to get back to the Olympics in Paris next year. And after the disappointment at the World Cup with Canadian team,
Mhm.
they didn't look so great. They changed their lineup. They changed their approach to the game. I think they went 3-5-2. So different organization out there on the field. And yeah, they did what they wanted to do, and they outplayed Jamaica in Jamaica and
They
won
did.
2-0.
I think Jamaica is a good team, but they got to start scoring some
They need to
goals.
score some goals, and they never truly threatened the goalkeeper in the Canadian goal. So,
Yeah.
in
So
my opinion, it was Canada could have scored more. Jamaica probably maybe could have gotten one, but Canada could have scored maybe three or four. But what is interesting, it's this first goal was scored by Nichelle Prince,
Hmm.
whose dad was a teammate of mine in Jamaica. So her dad's Jamaican. He's passed away unfortunately though, but she I've known Nichelle from she's a little kid, and
Hmm.
yeah, she scored. So she's in Jamaica scoring against her dad's country.
Inside the country,
But it
yeah.
was good to see. It was an amazing header from her, beautiful goal. So it was good to see. She's been battling injuries, so it's great to see her back and scoring. Well, her partner up front, Adriana Leon, she worked hard throughout the game. She did a lot of good stuff. And finally, in the 94th minute, she got a goal. So kudos to her. Both strikers, the things about them, whether it's injuries or not sure how they're going to perform, both showed up and both scored for Canada. So coming into the game on Tuesday, which was sold out over a month ago at the BMO Field, it's going to be should be fairly straightforward for Canada to hold on and win. Never know. Jamaica hasn't scored many goals in the last games that they've played, but who knows if they can to, find a way to score two at least. So
If you have
I
an
know
extra ticket, remember me. I've been looking for a ticket.
uh, I've been searching, and everybody says
Trying,
it's sold out.
yeah, I've been trying to get a ticket for that game. Interesting to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah. I guess you just have to watch it on TV. Yeah, I don't know. I've exhausted all my contacts, and no one's giving up anything. So let's see
No,
how it goes. I'm begging again this weekend.
Canada may be the away team in with the crowd.
I'm wondering. I'm
Yeah,
wondering, but they do have strong support here, though.
they do,
You
yeah. But a
know
lot
all
of
this stuff.
Jamaicans, I'm sure, gonna be there.
Be there. Yeah, I think it's going to be half and half. It's going to be an interesting game for sure. And you know what? Hopefully Jamaica shows up and make it exciting. That's the most
Hmm.
I could ask for, to have an exciting game. So
I like Jamaica to score first.
it would be very interesting if they did. It would be very, if they could score first in the first half. I
Hmm.
think it would make it very interesting to see. But I'm looking forward to that game, actually. I'm really looking forward to that game. Some other soccer news Spanish women's soccer. Most of the team has finally ended that boycott
Hmm.
following they had to get government intervention for this one, Ingle, because of that whole the case as we call it. So
Yes,
they returned to action after that scandal, and they did come out and they beat the country that is considered number one in the world now, Sweden.
Sweden. Yeah,
Yeah, they beat them 3-2. So it was good to see it coming from all that chaos, and they're coming out as winners again. So they're solid. Give them credit. They are a solid little team, and they did well in the Nations Cup game against Sweden. So kudos to them. The Champion Leagues have started though, Ingle, and I'm not sure
yeah. The,
what's going on this year, but Real Madrid, they had a one win over Berlin, and it's thanks to Jude Bellingham, who has scored 6 goals in 6 games for Real Madrid. So
scoring a lot.
this youngster is just on fire, on
Hmm.
fire. Kudos to him. I guess he's well worth that $100 million that they gave him
Yes,
at 19. Can you
yeah.
imagine 19-year-old
Not
getting $100
19.
million?
Yeah.
Arsenal is out there too, and they were perfect. It was a perfect game for them almost as they beat PSV Eindhoven 4 to
Four.
nothing. An interesting game was my team by Manchester United going up against Bayern Munich, and of course Harry Kane was out there for Bayern Munich. And
Hmm.
Bayern Munich found a way to win 4-3 over Manu. So I don't know what's going on with Manu.
And Hurricane scored actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
so it's good for him. Another $100 million man, and
Hmm.
Bayern Munich is going to be always going to be a good team. So not unexpected, but we need Manchester United to start winning again just for my sake, before I lose my mind.
Yes.
We had PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. They beat Borussia Dortmund from Germany 2 to nothing with Mbappe scoring a goal there. While Manchester City and Barcelona were also easy winners in that competition. So Champions League is off, and going to be an
Yeah.
interesting year as always. Looking forward to see how well that one goes this year. This weekend, though, we have a couple matchups in the English Premier League that I wanted to highlight. So we have Tottenham Hotspur, who is right number 2 in the league right now, looking really, really good. They're going to take on Arsenal in a big game tomorrow. So looking forward to seeing that game. While your team, Chelsea, is going to take on Aston Villa in another top 10 matchup here. So I'm looking forward to see how that game goes. Chelsea sort of,
Chelsea's not playing that well.
no, they're sort of on the
But
fence. I'm hoping they can
yeah,
bounce back, but Aston Villa looks like they should take this one.
looks that way.
Yeah, for now. And Lionel Messi, the king of football in the world right now. He's having a little injury, and he'll be out on the Sunday against Orlando City due to a scar tissue problem. So Inter Milan has Inter Miami has not really lost since he's come join their team. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do without him. They did beat Toronto 4-0 without him scoring, and
Nothing without him. Yeah.
he was hobbling a bit there. So let's see if they can continue that good stretch. But suddenly they're the team to watch out for now that Messi is there.
Hmm.
Interesting times ahead in the MLS.
Yeah, it seems like he's gonna be out for a while. So
I think so
it's an
too.
old injury.
I think
But
so
if they get
too.
to the yeah, they'll have to find a way. Maybe he's inspired them enough to find a way to win without him. So
I think so.
that's
That's my thought right now, and it showed against Toronto
yeah,
that he wasn't really there much, and yeah, they won 4-0.
they did. Yeah,
Although Toronto is no, not much to
not
talk about right now.
I think how many just one win or something.
I don't even know if it could get worse than that.
I
They're
don't know.
so bad that you can't even talk about how bad they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Horrible.
so the other things before we go, we're gonna wrap up now. Before we wrap up with the other things to look for is the Blue Jays. They're struggling to half a game above
Yes,
that wild
yes.
card, so they're struggling to keep in there. Let's hope
I
that they
hope that he
can.
comes back and
I
gives them
hope
that
so.
extra push to get over their fence here. But
Yeah,
I believe they're going to make it. I'm
I believe
faithful that
so
they're going to
too.
make it. It's only
It's-
half a game, but I
So
think they're going to make it.
I believe so. So we've come to the end of another show for another weekend on the England Rogers Sports Hour on Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. Until we come again next week, have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Have a fantastic weekend, all. See you next week.